What's good with y'all? Welcome back. I'm with my guy Five Star. We're gonna talk some more football. I think we did a pretty solid job last week. We'll see if we can do it again. What's good with you, Five?
What's up, man? Good to be on here with you. Shout out to the whole community. I appreciate you guys for tapping in with us. I appreciate the positive energy. We were able to go 6-1 against the spread in the NFL playoffs last weekend, so that was pretty sweet. Um, you guys, thank you for being here. Let's get it.
Let's get it. We got four games in the divisional round. We'll start with first up, Buffalo and Denver. It opened up as a pick 'em. You now have Denver as the slight favorite, and the total came down just a little bit. Um, man, this is another. I mean, this is the same thing that I said last week, except I think that the Broncos have a better team than the Bills team, and I think that I still trust Josh Allen more than I trust Bo Nix. I think that Josh Allen's still going to have to do more than Bo Nix has to do. So I don't know. I might have to tease this one up or something. I want to roll my boy. I'm not betting the Broncos, so I might have to either stay off the game or tease it up or something. What you thinking here, Far?
I think this is the toughest game to handicap out the whole weekend. It's going to be a really close game. You got two teams that play good defense, but in different manners. You got Buffalo, who's one of the top ranked pass defenses in the entire league. And then you got Denver, who's right up there with the Texans and Seahawks as, one of the three best overall defenses. Um, Sean Payton, he's not been that good in the playoffs. I'm a big Saints fan, and the Saints and the Texans are my teams. And when I remember a lot of games that we should have won in the playoffs where we were coming in a really good situation. You think that we had the best teams and we didn't get it done. So um, Sean Payton is a really smart guy, really good leader of men, but he doesn't get any special powers in the playoffs like some of these guys do, like my guy Shanahan, and we'll talk about a little bit later. He doesn't really elevate his coaching during that time of the year. What I worry about, I heard J.K. Dobbins might be back. Now it'll be R.J. Harvey. I wonder if Sean Payton is able to exploit the run defense for the Bills. Because if the Jaguars had just kept running the ball last week, that game wouldn't even been close. They were getting almost 10 yards a carry on the Bills defense. I believe my guy Ed Oliver, shout out H-Town, Texas. You know what I'm saying? Ed Oliver is from Houston. He's went to North Shore. He's the leader of that defense, the best player on that defense, and he's missed most of the year with an injury. And I think that he's going to be able to play in this one. So that would definitely help their run defense. Me personally, I'm not getting in front of Josh Allen. Even last week, that was the only one loss that I had, and I didn't take the full game. I took the Jaguars first half, and man, bad beat, bad break, bad handicap. That was just a bad beat because after the fumble by the Bills on the kickoff return, Trevor Lawrence should have got that first down, and then I would have got points, and there's no way I would have lost the first half money line. So I still feel like that was the right handicap, even though it didn't cash for me on the first half Jags. But for full game, it's very difficult to fade Josh Allen. We know that he's going to keep shooting, man. He's going to keep playing until the final whistle. He's been in this spot a lot more times than Bo Nix. Bo Nix actually was eliminated by the same Buffalo team last year, 31-7. They got embarrassed. So that may be something that Sean Payton can kind of use as a rallying cry for the team. But as far as in handicapping this one, man, this one is going to be very, very difficult to handicap. What I do know is that Vance Joseph is a really smart defensive coordinator for Denver. We see if he figures out a way to keep Josh Allen from scrambling. That's the thing. Like, if you can keep him in the pocket, make him play from the pocket, you have a much better chance than him getting out on the edge and having the ability to run. It seems like the team feeds off of it. I always call Josh Allen white Cam Newton, excuse me, because he plays just like Cam Newton. His head coach was on that same staff with Carolina. So him running really gets that team invigorated and gets them going. So we'll see. Very difficult game to handicap. I don't have a side on this one, man. It's just too tough. But I'd probably say that I'd lean first half Broncos just because kind of like Chicago, the Bills tend to start slow, but they always finish strong.
All right, next game we're looking at the 49ers and the Seahawks. They say Sam Darnold had an oblique injury. I'm wondering how much that's going to affect him. I'm pretty sure he's going to play, but how good is he going to play with whatever injury he has right there? For the Niners, I think that they have the better coach, and I'm trying to find reasons. I'm really trying to find reasons to back them. Um, yeah, that's really what it boils down to. So, do you think Shanahan can have some stuff ready for Seattle?
You know I'm a Shanahan guy. Literally every playoff game that Kyle Shanahan has coached in the last, I'm gonna say 4 or 5 years, I've bet on him. 2021, he and Joe Burrow and the Bengals team helped me go 14-0 against the spread on ESPN 97.5 on the bench, man. And it's just because you can trust Shanahan, man. He's in a situation now for us as bettors that's really a perfect storm because one, they looked horrible last time that they played Seattle, right? They're at home, they get dominated. It was only the fifth game in 150 games that Kyle Shanahan didn't score a touchdown with his offense. So we got that going. You also got all the injuries for the 49ers. So a lot of people are going to be thinking that, well, they're going to miss George Kittle, which they will. But I think that Jake Tungus has done a really good job stepping in for him. He has 5 touchdowns in the short period of time that he's had to replace Kittle this year, and he has a really good rapport with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's a very underrated playoff quarterback. He just extended his record to, I believe, 6-2 in the playoffs, either 5-2 or 6-2. I don't have it in front of me right now. After they beat the Eagles, I had them last week with the points, and then as it started going live, I caught them plus 200. The thing that I worry about if you're going to back Seattle and lay that many points is now you're betting at a division rival coming in town who's won 4 straight. A lot of people don't realize that Brock Purdy and Shanahan have won the last 4 times they went to Seattle, spanning back the last couple of years. So you got them coming to town. You're going to lay that type of points with Sam Darnold, who is not reliable. You're saying he has an oblique, and you know all your torque comes from throwing the ball right in that oblique area. And he didn't show well in his only playoff game last year. He didn't look good at all against LA. And Minnesota was at home and should have won that game. So Minnesota was on the road last year, I believe, but still he didn't play well. He threw an interception. I think his quarterback rating was 72 or something like that. I just don't trust Brock. I don't trust Sam Darnold in these situations. I do trust Brock Purdy. I do trust Shanahan's play calling. Shanahan is 9-4 throughout his career in the playoffs. He's also been to 2 Super Bowls. He's also had 4 NFC Championship appearances. I think this is about to be the 5th. I think that the Niners are going to surprise everyone. And I think that they're going to figure out a way to go into Seattle and win for the 5th straight time. So I'll definitely be on the Niners plus 7. I actually took a money line as well. Seahawks had a great regular season, but you haven't done it until you've done it. And this is Mike McDonald's first playoff game as a head coach. Sam Darnold's second. When you look at that Seattle's offense, who scares you on their offense? You know, only thing you can think of is Jackson Smith and Jigba, but he's undersized. He's not just this towering 6'5", 6'4" guy that can dominate at the line of scrimmage. You got to hope that they can get him open. And I think that Robert Saleh is smart enough to figure out a way to take him completely out the game. And now you have to hope that Shaheed, who's a really good player, can come through. But we've seen so many times in the past with Darnold, if you get him off his first read and get him off his spot, he's just going to throw the ball up, man. He's going to turn it over. So I trust Shanahan more than I trust Mike McDonald right here in this spot. He has a lot more experience, and they have to feel really confident playing a division rival and going to a place that they've won the last 4 times. So give me the Niners plus 7 in money line.
I like what I'm hearing there. Definitely like what I'm hearing. Next game, we got Houston and Patriots. Uh, Patriots looking like a 3 right now. Man, the Chargers defense did a really good job versus Patriots. And, I think the Texans defense is better than the Chargers. So I'm nervous for the Patriots of what they're going to be able to do this week. They're not going to, I say that. And yet the Chargers offense looked very pathetic. And the Texans offense looked pretty bad too. So who knows? Maybe the Texans offense will come in here and look bad as well. But the better defense, I don't know. I'm trying to find reasons in this one to back the Texans. Honestly, I don't really trust. I guess I trust Drake May more than CJ right now, but I don't think Patriots defense is as good as they look in that Chargers game. What do you think
That's
about
why
this?
I'm glad hopefully only 2,000, 3,000 people see this show. The game I'm about to give you guys right now is $1 million worth of game, and I don't want to affect my bet because my biggest bet of the weekend, I got 20 units on this game. So this is all about perception. One, you said Drake May, you trust more than CJ Stroud, and that their offense didn't play well. Well, did you know that they both had the same amount of turnovers? Drake May had an interception, 2 fumbles. CJ Stroud had an interception, 2 fumbles. The thing is that people in the social media world and in the media world, national media world, they're familiar with the Patriots. They're familiar with the brand. They're familiar with trusting them because of the past with Tom Brady. So with that said, they're finding excuses and reasons to say that the Patriots are going to get it done. And the Texans, they're just looking at, they're not going to do anything, right? They highlighted the 3 bad plays that CJ Stroud had. CJ Stroud, the first fumble that he had, Woody Marks kept the ball just a little bit too long on that flea flicker. He ran into the line and tried to settle a little bit too much. So by the time that he flipped it back to CJ, the rush was already on him. You're supposed to move a little bit faster on the flea flicker than that. I understand Marks was trying to sell it, but it ended up where when he caught the ball, he couldn't even get set. He had Jaden Higgins wide open for a touchdown. He couldn't get set because the rush was in his face. They hit him. He's never been good with a muddy pocket. That's one thing I can't say about CJ. He needs to work on that in the offseason, get with like Drew Brees or with Tom Brady on ball protection, inside of a muddy pocket. The next turnover that he had with the other fumble was he was just doing too much. He's looking forward. The snap comes to the side of him. He tries to, which he does all the time, stay looking down the field and catch the ball. And it just fell off. And instead of him falling on the ball, he tried to think he could get the ball and throw it away. And he ends up fumbling. 2 bad plays. Outside of that, CJ Stroud was outstanding. He had 5 big play passes, completions. PFF says that's anything over 20 yards in a difficult window throw. He had 5 of those. The AFC offenses in the wild card round, the Texans were first in yards, first in first downs, first and third down efficiency, first in rushing yards, and second in passing yards. So I love that it's a misconception that the Texans played bad on offense because they really didn't. They really played well on offense. They were the best third down team in the entire playoffs last week. Drake May has a lot to learn, and he's going to learn it quick this week. I do like Mike Vrabel. I think he's a smart guy. He's going to try to blitz the hell out of CJ. And the way that the Texans are going to get around that is they got to run the ball with Woody Marks. Simple as that. They're going to have to run the ball. If they run the ball, they'll be okay because the Patriots are going to have a difficult time on their left side blocking up the Texans, man. It's going to be really hard because you got Will Campbell, who has the shortest arms of any tackle in the league. I got much love for his family. They're from Monroe, Louisiana. He went to Nelva High School like my homie, Jeff Wilson. Shout out Jeff out of Memphis. But he's given up 8.5 sacks this year at tackle, Ski. And the guard, who's also a rookie next to him, is giving up 8.5 sacks. So that's 17 sacks just on the left side. And that's what Will Anderson will be working for him. So if I'm a guy who's a Patriots fan, I'd be ready to prepare myself for a really long weekend.
Our last game to talk about here is the Rams and the Bears. It opened 3.5. Looks like 3.5 or 4 still.
Yeah.
I worry about this for the Rams because Stafford in the code. I just worry about that.
Yeah.
And that the Bears defense is immaculate, but I just worry about that. And I think the Bears run game is so good. Ben Johnson, he's good. Caleb look all right. I mean, looks like a lot of points to lay, even though I think the Rams are a better team. If this wasn't like a weather game, I might take the Rams, but I can't take the Rams right now at this number. What do you think?
You should, and I'm going to approach this game the exact way that we approached the Packers and Bears game last week. You remember I won on Packers first half, you won on Bears full game. I'm taking the Rams first half -2.5 because Sean McVay is smart. He's going to have plays drawn up early in order for them to be effective. Probably short passing game, some wide receiver screens to Puka Nacua, probably some plays to Parkinson off the play action to the tight end, running Kyron Williams. And I think by halftime they'll have the lead. But you'd be a fool to try to fade Caleb Williams in the second half. Right now, Caleb Williams is playing. But you almost want to take the Bears right now for second half pregame. It's probably going to be like plus money. I'd probably take the Bears second half and take the Rams first half. That's how I'd approach this game, because just right now, Caleb Williams has that magic, man, going. And he misses a lot of throws. He's a low completion percentage passer, but even with that said, chunk plays. We just was talking about the big time throws by CJ. Caleb does the same thing, man. Caleb had 24 completions out of 48, which is a horrible completion percentage, but he threw for 361. So that's something to look at. He's developing a really good relationship with Coastal Loveland, who was a star at Michigan, and I knew was going to be a really good tight end. And then, DJ Moore is the X factor. He's a guy no one pays attention to, and he's really one of the top receivers in the league. And Ben Johnson makes great adjustments at halftime. He comes out, he feels people out. He almost knows that Caleb's going to be too juiced up and miss some throws in the first half. They go get it together at halftime and come out. I'm not surprised at all if the Bears end up winning this game money line, because as it gets later and later in the game, it's going to get windier and windier off the Lake Michigan, man. And it's going to be really cold, and the Bears have been playing in cold weather games all year. You remember against Cleveland, it was like below 10 degrees out there, and Caleb was playing like he was in LA. So I think that the Bears are more built for this weather. We know they have a really solid run game with DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. I think as the game goes on, those running lanes open up, and we see them kind of take control of this game. As you said, Matt Stafford, you can't really trust him in the cold. I think he's 1-9 since he's been with the Rams in conditions like this, in bad weather games. Also, another thing to look at in this one is Stafford has not been that great in the playoffs. As you saw last week, they struggled. They turned the ball over a little bit. They end up winning the game at the end, but come on, they were laying 10.5. And we know that Vegas, if anyone knows these teams, it's Vegas. And Vegas thought that they were 11-point favorites, and they only end up winning by 3 with 30 seconds left. That means they underachieved and they didn't play up to the level that they should have been. And that's because, as I said, Stafford isn't as good in the playoffs as he is in the regular season throughout his career. Besides that run when the Rams went to the Super Bowl, he has really, really struggled in the playoffs. I just like the moxie right now, the Bears. I think that Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams are on the same page, and they're going to never say die. So give me the Rams first half on this, but I also like the Bears second half, and I'll probably bet it pregame.
All right, good stuff. That's the NFL card for this weekend. So we go ahead and wrap it up. Oh man,
we got a little back noise.
Yeah, my bad. I gotta get over there in a second. So, yeah, we usually just do a recap, not really doing best bets. So I ask you, you want to do a recap, best bets, however you want to do it, anything you like to promote.
Hey, man, you already know. Just come to www.thewagerworld.com. Get with me, man. If you guys are on X, at 5-Star in Vegas, DM me. The plays, I'm just breaking down analysis. If you want the official plays, though, everything is in the packages and the deals this week, because this is a very, very big week for me and my private group, man. So it's really unfair for them just to give out all the information for free. I don't mind breaking down the games, but I'll give you exactly what I'm playing if you join the group. You guys hit me up, and I look forward to working with some of you.
All right, good stuff. I haven't actually made a bet yet, but I told you guys those 3 teams. Really, really, I'm looking at the first road teams and the last home team. So we'll
Yeah.
see what I get to the window with. And always good breaking the games down with you 5. We'll be back again doing it very soon, and we'll catch all you guys out there next week.